Good morning, guys and gals, and welcome to day 11 of Let's Play Prison Architect, the opening day. We have 25 maximum security prisoners who are going to be arriving any minute. As you can see, we've received $25,000 as a prisoner intake bonus, so we're going to get $1,000 per maximum security intake we receive today, and any day. In addition, if you look over here, we're making $1,500 a day. We're going to get a certain amount of money in because we have maximum security prisoners. In addition, we're also going to receive bonuses to the daily cash flow, depending on how well the prisons run and how many different things we avoid. So the less riots, less prisoner deaths, less escapes means more money in your pocket. Now, you may remember, we have no guards, because I spent all the rent money. So, we're going to hire just tons of guards with that $25,000 we received. Let's get 30 guards initially. Then we're going to get a couple of dog handlers. 3, 4, 5, and we're going to throw 2 cooks down. Now, I've also locked these gates open because I'm curious to see whether, I guess, the prisoners get brought into the... Okay, so if this gate is open, they will bring the prisoners into this area. So this is a part of the prison that will probably have to be open for at least part of the morning. And we have guards bringing everybody in. So all in all, this is turning into quite the success so far. And now you may remember, some of the prison isn't complete yet. There's quite a few troubled areas we're going to have to worry about. First of all, I don't have any metal detectors in yet. And that is a mistake on my part. I'm going to get that dealt with probably first thing in the morning, but this means we're going to have to worry just a little bit about contraband. We're not going to be able to stop it for the most part today. In addition, there's still some places that, for whatever reason, our workers aren't finishing. I'm going to lay that up. It's probably just bugs, or I've mishandled something while I was laying it down. Probably won't be an issue just yet, but we will deal with it when we have to. Over here we have our guard watching the CCTV monitor. Everybody else is finding a patrol on a patrol, escorting prisoners. Now, you do need to be careful. Prisoners who are left out here for a long amount of time will eventually just walk away. In addition, if a prisoner, say, out here cleaning, and they see that they can make a break for freedom, they may try to make a break for freedom. But I do believe the game gives you a little bit of leeway, with the understanding that sometimes it does take a little bit to get prisoners in the prison. I'm gonna throw another guy out there, see what he does. He's just gonna run inside, probably grab one of these guys. But all in all, no incidents so far. I know that's a little, maybe premature to be saying at 10:05 in the morning. They've only been here 2 hours. But all in all, that should be pretty simple. We haven't done anything with the regime yet. I will probably do that. I'm a little worried to not pay attention to this. I want to keep an eye on this, because this is the first time I've really let this many prisoners in on day one. I normally like to test things out first with a smaller number, just so you don't really have to... I'm trying to word this properly. There's no surprises. It lets you prepare. Now, another thing we're going to talk about is the reputations. As you can see here, Stephen Donnie, age 20, is strong. That means if he gets into a fight, he's going to be more likely to hurt someone. We can take a look at his file. If I'm not mistaken, if you donated or bought a certain kit, you could actually write a character in here. I don't know if it's too late to do that or not. It may be. I believe it's actually going to be fully released at the end of... oh, gosh. June, I think I saw on Steam. They just announced it, so the build we see now is pretty much it, I believe, in terms of dev. I believe they said there was something like 130 bug fixes in the last patch, which is great. This guy was sentenced to 11 years for multiple crimes, including torture, assault, and perjury. It'll tell you his family, the convictions. If you're running a low-security prison, chances are you're going to never really have to worry about whether or not they were falsely accused. I believe that only happens in some of the later ones. Being maximum security. So we may need to pay attention to that. But now that everybody's inside, and I have yet to take a break from talking, let's do the regime. So first things first, I want them up and ready to go. We're going to have a shower first thing in the morning. And then we're going to go eat. Now we're going to go eat free time, I believe. And this regime is kind of an art form. You really have to play with it. It depends on the size of your prison. Yeah, it depends on the size of your prison, how long it takes to get from place A to place B. That sort of thing. Oh, that's getting really annoying. So you're gonna have to play with it, is the long and the short of it. I have no idea why that's doing that. And we'll do eat, free time. Sleep. So they'll sleep from 11 till 6. Then the rest of the day looks like that. We're going to give them free time because that will allow them to take care of their needs. We have a bathroom in here. We're going to need to furnish the canteen much better. And that is all my fault. We kind of had to rush the opening. Because, well, A, we ran out of money. And B, I actually ended up having to take a bank loan out to cover some things, so we're going to have to take care of that very shortly. But let's get some more of the necessities in place. Obviously, we need to have a canteen that can seat 25 people. And in theory, we should probably have a canteen that can seat 50 people, because we should be getting another 25 in the morning. Really, whether we're ready or not. But that will allow us to build the last couple things we need. We're doing good for guards. Could probably use a couple more dogs. And by probably, I mean we really could use a couple more dogs. So those will happen tomorrow. The metal detectors, a bit more fencing. And we have a guard paying attention to this. That's working great. So with any luck, that will be perfect and ready for tomorrow morning. So we have everybody at work. Let's take a quick look at the logistics and see who's working where. So we have a handful of people working in the cleaning cupboard and laundry. Cleaning cupboard I'm really excited about because if you look, this place is filthy. We've had 30 workers running around all day, every day, and only one janitor, so the floors are just absolutely filthy. Just all of them. So they'll take care of that. And let's go back into logistics. We have nobody working in the kitchen, library, or workshop, and that is because we have yet to run the programs. So let's quickly hop into programs. We'll turn some of these on. We have 5 people interested in workshop safety, so we'll start that class. And we'll actually run that twice a day. Classes actually cost money to run, 100 per session, so $200 per day for workshop safety. We also have several people interested in kitchen and kitchen hygiene and safety. We only have 2 slots we can open, so we'll have the 2 classes running, 1 in each work period. No one's interested in carpentry. This one you actually have to pass workshop safety to take part of. And the foundation education, we will start 2 classes of that as well, because we do have several classrooms. That being said, we only have a handful of desks, so we're going to have to add a few more of those. And once the classes are done, well, the graduates can either move on to take the general studies course, I believe it is, general education, or they can work in the library. So that will open up many more opportunities for us. Now, up here, we see the danger level is low. That's good. That means that nobody at the moment is super angry at the prison. Our goal is to keep them happy, but also to reform them. So let's go back into programs, and we'll talk about the rest of them. Carpentry, we discussed general education. Behavioral therapy is a psychological program which you can put, I believe it's mostly angry or violent offenders in your prison. We also have pharmacological treatment of drug addiction. Requires health. I believe we need a nurse, a doctor. We don't have a doctor at the moment, but we'll slap that up because we're going to have to get one before the end of the day. Then you see alcoholics group therapy, spiritual guidance. We have to bring a priest in so people can take part in that. And that is all we really need at the moment. Besides a doctor. So let's hire a doctor, and then that should be pretty much every program we need running at the moment covered. There we go. Well, isn't this exciting? We have... now, you may have asked me in the regime, I had eat, free time. They will continue to eat into free time as long as they've received their food. And then that way, those who have finished eating during free time can go do other things. We're going to need to put exercise equipment in the yard so they can play in the yard. And that will reduce their need for exercise. We have a few things down here. The phones will allow them to reduce their need for family. TV, pool table will reduce their need for fun, if I'm not mistaken. Yard time, or time out in the yard, will allow them to reduce their need for freedom. And then a few other needs we're going to have to take care of individually. Things like need for drugs. He needs comfort, so he's relaxing in bed. What's he doing? He needs nothing. Needs a bit of environment. So, they all seem to be pretty happy at the moment. Going forward, depending on how the schedule works out, we may end up making some of them work longer. It's kind of hard to say. And we're going to need many more of these CCTV monitors, and we're probably going to need to work on the phone taps shortly. I do not believe that is properly set up. But, regardless, it is 4 in the afternoon. We have yet to have a single problem. Again, 25 more prisoners arriving in the morning. 8 visitors are on site. but I believe they'll be coming tomorrow, or they may be checking in later today. That may actually be the visitor. That is Coatney's wife. She's coming to visit Coatney in jail. And then, other than that, all we can really do is wait for some time to pass. We're going to have a long-term investment hit us in about 17 hours. That'll be another $16,000 we can use to start slapping down other security measures. But all in all, we should be done probably, I'd say, within the next day or so. The prison will be fully up and running. What's that? Cancel the electrical cable. He seems to have electricity in there. And I'm just going to kind of cancel these jobs as I go, as I see fit. I'm pretty happy about this. Let's see, he needs food, but eat time's coming up if I'm not mistaken. It looks like they're heading to one of the classes. Oh, he's going to a reform program. What programs do we have running at the moment? Oh, workshop safety and kitchen are currently running. Once they pass kitchen safety and hygiene, they can actually work in the kitchens, which will be useful. That'll cut our costs on cooks. And then workshop, we need a few more tools, it looks like. But once they pass in here, we can start making them, build license plates and the like. I'm a little worried about having them in here without metal detectors, though, so that's going to be tomorrow's number one. And, oh, I forgot to mention, in here you can hover over the squares. It'll show you who is taking that. In here you can see things like their concentration, understanding, attendance, and success. As attendance goes up, so does success. If they can't concentrate, normally because their needs are too high, often attributed to drugs or things like that, then they are more likely to fail. Let's see. He has terrible concentration, but a good understanding. 37% attendance, success rate of 10%, compared to this guy who's at 32. And let's look at you. 23% chance of, 24% attendance, 47% success. So it's likely that these two are going to be working in the kitchen. Once we get a couple that are in solitary, we may start looking at confidential informants. It's hard to say, because we don't really have our confidential informant area built yet. But we may start working on that, just because you don't want them to die. You really don't. And I am just as happy finding all the drugs in a prison doing a shake-up, or a shakedown, I should say. And the prison's getting clean. So, again, I am pretty happy with how today turned out. And we are actually coming up on the 19-minute mark, more or less. So we'll take another look at this beautiful prison. Dirty armory. Filthy in there. Let's see how these guys are doing. 22% chance of passing, not likely. He may pass. That'll be a coin toss. Oh, that's probably why the electrical cable wasn't. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. So I may have to take care of that later. I think I figured out why those weren't working. So yeah, anyway, sorry to leave off on such a traily off note. That wasn't even a very strong ending. But if you're enjoying the series, make sure you let me know. Subscribe to the channel. Hit me up on Twitter at Gaming with Murel. Check out our Indie Hour podcast. Link in the end card. You can also find it on SoundCloud, and it's under Murel's Indie Hour. Once again, I want to thank you guys all for watching. We'll pick this up in the next episode, and I will talk to you next time.